You know
Yeah.
that since you brought up your kids and that you have mixed kids, and so does King Rahu.
Why you putting my
Um,
business down? No, I'm just
so you guys both have mixed kids, and and a lot of people. The reason why we have racism is because some white people think they're superior, some black people. It's because people think they're better than someone else, or the other group is worse. But when you have a mixed kid, is that a black kid or a white kid?
well, based upon the census, if you have a white mother, the child's considered white.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
100%.
Yeah.
See, that makes no sense to me. The point I'm getting at is that you have kids. They're perfectly healthy. They look like human beings. That kid is not black, just like you're not black and I'm not white. We're humans.
True.
And
But
if we were separate and if we were different, we wouldn't be able to have babies together.
this is true.
I mean, first of all, we're all light brown. I mean, when Christopher mentioned that, we're all brown. We all have melanation. Period.
Yeah, we're all
But
brown.
to say
None of
that
us are white.
to a white person, they don't believe that. In today's society, no, I ain't brown. They're going to deny it. It's kind of like the king that we read, that really just hated being part black. Y'all remember that in the ancient, in one of our books, in a book club, he hated to be black. You know what I mean? Because of what he was told. You know what I mean?
That's
And
right.
so, like I said, I'm with RP. On a different perspective when it comes to raising black kids or mixed kids, is that you have to go through this list of things to keep them safe. You know what I mean? When you walk down the street, don't wear a hoodie. I mean, that's unreal. You know what I mean? Or be careful when you walk in a certain neighborhood, right? The cops gonna do this and cops gonna do that and this and this and this. How to deal with cops. You know what I mean? How to deal with neighbors. You know what I mean? How to deal with the Karens that I seen a video just recently, 4 boys at the playground. They took down the basketball goals because it brought a group of kids to play basketball. But then the kids are hanging out at the park, and then somebody called and said they're suspicious. And then it becomes an issue. You know what I mean? And then now I mean, most people don't have to, or white people don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Go let your kids play. Go let them run them up. But that don't happen with black kids because they start hanging. 4 or more come together. It's a problem. You know what I mean? And that's sad that we have to do that. Or don't buy rims on your car, or don't dress a certain way because it's looked at as negative.
And so you said the consensus is if you have a white mother that they're considered white.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
I looked it
Who
up.
can remember that crap?
Well, there used to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, RP. Go ahead.
No, there used to be. Well, and I don't know if there's still law. If you had 1 drop of black blood, that you were considered black.
It was something dealing with the fertility rate. So I was looking at fertility rates, and that's what I came to because I even brought it to my wife. I was like, oh wow, like so the thing is that when they do the census and they calculate how many white people or black people are in a particular area. If your mother is white, then the child was considered white.
So that's from the basis of trying to prop up the numbers to give them the aspect of majority, because certainly, it may be that way, but in the eyes in real life, that's not how they're treated.
No, by far. So
that just doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's just dumb.
Well, it's propaganda. It ain't supposed to make sense to the people who understand what's supposed to make sense. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds confusing. You know what I mean? It sounds really ignorant. It really does. And so, and I feel like anybody who abides by that, there's no point of arguing with them. There's no point of trying to convince them otherwise in some sense. I might try to plant that seed and I'm walking off. If the seed grows, it grows. You know what I mean? If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? But I'm just not going to entertain that.